I don't know. We still have the dream that our next president would be a civilian man. If Mubarak has not appointed a military man or a civilian man, if he goes, there would be a possibility for that the parliament would nominate a civilian man, and the second step, hopefully, would be to change the constitution and the law to make the election of the president from amongst several candidates. Hopefully this will be in the not too distant future, but I don't think this will be the case with the next president. Most probably the next president will be a military successor of a military predecessor.
It seems to me that in one sense you haven't simply described Egypt as between democracy and theocracy, but almost as if the movement is getting more and more toward theocracy. Are there some places in the culture where there is some success in opposing that? Because I almost get the impression that if one projected the current situation very long, that theocracy would be the result.
Yeah, let me add a point of precision here. I would say theocracy would win provided the scenarios I described would take place. And I would emphasize the point that if the theocrats, so to speak, can capitalize on the social and economic crisis, if they are the ones who can convince people that we will resolve the problem of unemployment, we will resolve the problem of poverty, we will give jobs to the younger generation, we will improve education. If this discourse is convincing enough, that will be the success of theocracy in the long run, and of course they will come to power one day. It becomes only a question of time, as I said. But if the other forces of the state or forces of the secularist political opposition can convince people otherwise through a modernist discourse that there are prospects for resolving the social and economic crisis, prospects for creating political stability and a genuine democratic system, without the Islamists being the most convincing avant-garde in addressing these issues, of course, Egypt can avoid theocracy even in the long run. The theocracy does not become a prospect on the cards at all. Yes, searching for hope, I find certain what we call islands of hope. Islands of hope. I'll mention some of these to you. Number one, pluralism has become a fact of life in Egypt. Yes, we are still a central state, still semi-dictatorship, still one-party system. But underneath, there is an infrastructure for pluralism being developed also. Because it's the very nature of the global changes that are taking place and which affect Egypt. Economic changes, privatization, and not only public sector economy, right? Which means you will have an entrepreneurial class, you will have a different mode of investment in the market, and so on. Some of these people in the entrepreneurial class are one island of hope, as I see it. Okay, because some of them are good capitalists, so to speak. Okay, advanced, they have a productivity and efficiency mentality and so on. Others are just corrupt, and they have their own alliance with the state bureaucracy based on corruption to gamble in the market and speculate and make money and profits. There is this branch, but there is another branch of the Egyptian business class, which is more advanced, and these are the people who form a part of the hope. Okay? If these people act properly in political life, as much as they push in the economic life to create a ground for themselves and for a more productive economy, I think that will be an island of hope. And these people, in the majority, are modernists and secularists. They are not Islamists. There are, of course, Islamists, merchants and traders and businessmen also. But the largest segment of the more advanced entrepreneurial class are not Islam. They have a modernist, secularist perspective. And democratic also, liberals. They are liberals. That's one island of hope.